Deep room. The house was a rental, old and cheap, perfect for Mark, a broke grad student drowning in deadlines. It stood on the edge of a dying town, surrounded by leafless trees and overgrown weeds. The landlord's warning was the only odd thing. "There's a locked door in the basement," he said, avoiding eye contact. "It's been sealed for decades. Leave it alone, for your own sake." Mark shrugged it off. He wasn't planning to explore basements anyway. The first week was unremarkable, save for the silence. The house had no creaks, no humming appliances, no ticking clocks. The only sound was the faint rustle of trees. Then the whispers began. Faint, fleeting murmurs, just at the edge of hearing. They came when he brushed his teeth or lay in bed, but every time he stopped to listen, they vanished. The first thump came at 3:13 a.m., jolting him awake, a low, rhythmic pounding, like something hammering deep within the walls. He froze, staring at the ceiling, the sound reverberating through the house. In the daylight, curiosity won. Mark ventured into the basement. The air grew colder with every step, and the smell of damp earth filled his nostrils. His flashlight revealed cobwebs and rusted pipes, but then it caught the door. It was chained. Thick iron links bolted into the concrete walls. Scratch marks marred the surface, as though someone or something had clawed at it. The whispers grew louder the following nights. They weren't just random murmurs now. They formed words. One night, as Mark stood before the door, he heard it clearly. "Help me!" The voice was faint and distorted, like it came through water. It wasn't a scream. It was worse, a desperate pleading whisper. Mark told himself to leave it alone, but curiosity consumed him. With a crowbar, he pried at the chains. They groaned as they fell away, the door trembling under his touch. It swung open, revealing a room that shouldn't exist. It stretched endlessly, its walls alive with movement. Black veined flesh pulsated like a living organism, oozing tar-like substance. The floor was slick and warm, the air suffocating with the metallic tang of blood. In the center of the room stood a figure. It was vaguely human, but grotesque. Limbs elongated, bending unnaturally. Its translucent skin revealed pulsing veins and something black squirming beneath. Its face was smooth, except for a wide, lipless mouth that gaped open, oozing darkness. "Thank you," it rasped. Its voice layered over itself, male and female, young and old, all speaking at once. Mark staggered back as the door slammed shut behind him. The thing tilted its head, its neck cracking, then began to move. Its jerky, inhuman gait covered the distance between them in seconds. Mark clawed at the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers swelled, overlapping into a cacophony. "You shouldn't have opened it. Run! Join us!" The creature reached him, its cold, elongated fingers brushing his skin. Pain shot through him as black veins crawled under his flesh, spreading fast. Mark's body froze, his mind screaming in terror. The room began to shift. The pulsating walls melted into a void of endless darkness. Shapes writhed within it, twisted figures with hollow eyes and mouths frozen in eternal screams. Mark's vision blurred as the creature's mouth widened, stretching far beyond what was natural. Darkness poured from it, swallowing him whole. The next morning, the landlord arrived, as he always did when tenants vanished. Mark's belongings were untouched, his breakfast half-eaten on the counter. The landlord descended into the basement, where the door was chained once again, as if it had never been opened. He sighed, rubbing his temples. Why don't they ever listen? As he turned to leave, a faint thumping stopped him. It came from behind the door, steady, rhythmic. For a moment, he thought he heard Mark's voice. "Help me." The landlord locked the basement and left, but the house wasn't silent. Late at night, if you listened carefully, you could hear whispers, and sometimes the thumping. And if you stood by the door too long, you might feel it tremble, just slightly, as if something inside was testing the chains.